really, I think, relevant to this conversation. Do we want to go back to business as usual? Does anybody want to go back to work? No. I hope not. Because the work environment has been so toxic, so inhumane, we should never go back to that. The greed, the competition, the stress. Everybody's on anti-stress, anti-anxiety pills. Mm-hmm. This is not a way to live. This is crazy. Don't want to go back to that. So, talk to anybody who runs a big company. They have 100 employees, just to pick a round number. Every one of those employees comes in at 9, stays till 5. It's a waste of time. Ask the head of that company, if all of these people came in at 9 and left at 3, would you make any less money? No. What about if they left at 12? Would you make any less money? Probably not. So what are you keeping them there for? What you're doing is you're giving them too many hours for the amount of work they're going to do, so they get kind of sloppy. You know, what's the rush? I got more hours. I got more time. I'll do it soon. I'll do it later. I'll take a break. I'll go. If you had 3 hours of focused work, you would make as much money as you make now. So what they should do is put in the 3 hours, take a lunch break, and then get back together to figure out ways of making the community better. You've made your money. Now let's think about everybody else. You're capable people, obviously. You're employed, you're creative, you're intelligent. So why not spend a couple of hours trying to do something for your neighborhood, for your community, for your congregation, or for the world if you're that big? People would come to work with a whole different attitude. It wouldn't be this greedy, grabbing rat race. Who needs that?
It's a phenomenal idea. We had spoke about realistic ways on how we can lower tuition costs, and one of the ideas was a large accounting firm that has the resources to help a school manage their finances or their back end, where it wouldn't be much skin off of their back. But if they allocated X amount of hours / employees to that cause, they can help a communal organization. And it's within the theme of tapping into this. Are you familiar with any companies that are doing something like that? Or
There's one company that I spoke to who's doing it.
In what industry?
Real estate.
Real estate. And has it impacted their business in a negative way?
No.
And the employees appreciate and they see the value in giving back?
Yeah, so going to work is not a grind, it's not a burden, suddenly it's a noble thing to do. And it does bring happiness.
Beautiful.
Which money can't. I just heard this cute, I don't know,
Yeah.
how much time do we have?
No, we have a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's this little scene where this guy says to God, I can't do this. I can't. I work, I run, I do. I have no life. I have no life. I'm down to $20. I have no life. Give me a life. So God says, really? No life? Give me the $20, I'll give you a life. The guy says, okay. Whoa. If I give you the $20, I won't have any money for gas for the car. God says, oh, you have a car. Give me the $20 on the car, and I'll give you a life. I said, all right. Oh, wait, if I don't have a car, how am I going to get to work? So God said, oh, you have a job. So give me the job and the car and the $20, I'll give you a life. It's like that joke about bring the cat into the house and bring the goat into the house and bring... Anyway, so he says, all right, but if I give you my job, how am I going to pay the mortgage? So God said, oh, you have a house. Give me the house, the job, the car, the $20, I'll give you life. He said, but if I give you the house, where's my family going to live? He said, oh, you have a family. Give me the family, give me the house, give me the job, give me the car and the $20. I'll give you a life. He says, okay. God says, good. Now, here's $20. Here's a car. Here's a job. Here's a house. And here's a family. You got a life. We sometimes think like you're chasing your life and you're running in the wrong direction. You have a life for which you're willing to go to work to support. Don't forget them and then complain you have no life. This is the challenge of today. Women are going to work, not only because they need another check, but because women are tired of being a one-parent family, because men are not part of the family. They got careers. So for a long time, women put up with it, thinking, yeah, that's, men supporting their families, beautiful. Turns out men aren't supporting their families. Their career comes first. In fact, the family is like an annoyance. The wife calls in the middle of the day, what do you want? I'm busy. I have no time for family. So the wives realized they're alone. And eventually they said, look, you're not going to be part of the family, and neither am I. I don't want to be a one-parent family. So I'm going to work too. The problem is they both forgot that they have a life. And they're so focused on existing that it's really depressing.
We have now on the Living L'Chaim Network, our YouTube channel, tens of thousands of subscribers that are not even Jewish, that appreciate the wisdom that our guests have been sharing. And it's been eye-opening to non-Jews who may not have had exposure to the world of Judaism in Trinidad and South Africa and Australia, maybe even in Minnesota as well. If you had a message for our non-Jewish community, not necessarily on behalf of the Jewish people, but something for them to know about Judaism that they have not been exposed to, what would that be? Whether it be a message or something to know about Orthodox Jews and Judaism and Torah?
We're always very proud and keep reminding the world, we gave you monotheism. That was 4,000 years ago. What have we done lately? Yeah, that was great. That was really, really great. There's hardly any idolatry going on, Monotheism is universally accepted principle. There's one God. That's it. Okay, we can debate, Christianity and Islam, Muslims have a little difference of opinion on that. But the principle is there, right? There's one God. What more can we share? Being a light to the nations? What are we offering? 10 Commandments? They got it. The Bible? They got it. Now what? I think the message which everyone needs to hear, this one God that we believe in, who created the whole world, he has a big investment in his creation, huge investment, because there was only him at the beginning, and what was wrong with that? Why wasn't he perfectly content? There's just him, no complaints, no demands, no kvetching. Nobody's accusing him of being cruel. Why did he mess it up? There must be a really strong, driving interest to make all this worthwhile for him. And we've been ignoring that. We're so focused on what we need him to do for us, we forget that his investment is the big one.
Hmm.
I mean, if this world disappears, would I care? It's not my problem. It's his world. He cares. So again, we've put ourselves in such a needy position in our relationship with God that it has become a one-way relationship, which is no relationship at all. When we serve God, we're literally giving him something that he can get only from us. Otherwise, it's not a service. You want God to help you, to save you, to protect you, to bless you, and that's called serving him. It's so self-serving. It's not nice. It's like a bad marriage. So what we need to do is realize that we are here on a mission to fulfill his plan, what he needs from this world, from us. So we are needed, not needy. Everything we do is part of his plan. Why do I have to go to work? I don't know. That's how he set it up. You want to call it a curse? Whatever. But I didn't do this. Why do I even need to eat 3 times a day? I want to quit. I can't. Why? Because it was never my idea in the first place. God needs me to consume food. It was his design. So instead of feeling so needy and constantly making demands of God, give me, help me, teach me, show me, love me, it's narcissistic. We have to become a little more noble than that. A little bit. You wake up in the morning, what can I do for God's world? What does God need from me? Because I am needed. I really have not many needs.
Beautiful.
Because I didn't ask for this. So why do I need to eat? I didn't ask to be born. It's an interesting thing that's happening now. It's like the cutting edge of people are no longer threatened by death the way they used to be. Like teenagers, you say, don't mess with drugs, dangerous. And they say, yeah, so? Like what? Well, it might kill you. Yeah. What's your point? In the olden days, that enough said. You got to get up and plow the field, back-breaking work, and you got to milk the cow 4 o'clock in the morning or you're going to die. Oh, that's it. Right? Need, what is the expression? Need is the mother of all invention. We were driven by need. Well, something happened in the last couple of years, and people are saying, you know what? I don't care. I can't live my entire life so that I don't die. It doesn't make sense. So you better tell me something more meaningful than, oh, you're going to die.
Where does that apathy come from?
It's not apathy. I think we're getting closer to the truth. Because that has been the reality. You must live. Why? Because otherwise you'll die. That is not a logical argument.
Mm-hmm.
You have to live so that you live and not die. No. So when we ask, what is the purpose of life? We're not depressed. We haven't given up on life. We're just saying there's got to be more to this than just not dying. So all of a sudden, there's a certain wisdom that is dawning on the world. I am not needy because I don't need any of this. And you can't threaten me with death. Because why must I be alive? Why? I like it. I'm fine. I'm not suicidal. But why? Now we need to come up with some answers. And that's why people are turning to Judaism. Judaism is the only source for information that makes this world significant to God. Because most religions, no, this world is just a pain. Get through it quickly with as few scars as possible and go to a better world. That doesn't help make life here any better. Judaism is a living godliness, not a heavenly one. It doesn't dismiss this world in favor of paradise. And that's why Jews don't really want to go to, we don't go to heaven. Oh, can't you just wait? You can't wait to get to heaven? Well, I can wait. I can wait as long as I have no interest in going to heaven. What's there? In heaven, when you die, which you shouldn't, but when you do, in heaven, you are pampered. You're retired. You did your job. You're a good boy here. Enjoy. We don't want to be retired. We want to be productive. We want to be active. We want to be contributing to God's plan. So the message of Judaism, going back to your question, the message of Judaism is, don't go to heaven. Don't even think about heaven. Bring God here. Don't go there. And all the souls that are in heaven, they're miserable because they can't wait to come back. Here's where all the action is, and there is no better place.
Is there a book that you have not written that you recommend to people to read? People are always looking to hear what inspires and interests our guests. Is there a book, whether related to finance or not, that you recommend to people?
A good book on life, Towards a Meaningful Life.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's called Towards a Meaningful Life?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll put that in the show notes. People who do have follow-up questions for you, I'm assuming there will be many. Is there a good way to reach out to you, a website, an email address? If they Google your name, I'm sure they'll be able to find you.
The best way is to go to itsgoodtoknow.org.
Itsgoodtoknow.org. Do you receive quite a bit of communication?
It's good to know, yes.
It's good to know.
It's goodtoknow.org.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rabbi Manis Friedman. Looking forward to having you back again soon, and we appreciate your time.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you for watching another episode of Kosher Money.
Talking about kosher and money, you know what's free?
What is?
Subscribing to this YouTube channel or subscribing to wherever they're listening to this podcast.
Listeners from dozens of countries are pouring in. We love your feedback. This video, unlike most of our others, has timestamps on the bottom, and that was because of your feedback. You wanted it, you got it. What else do you want? Let us know. We should have swag, by the way, Kosher Money swag.
Ooh.
We should work on that.
Okay.
But if you have an iPhone, head over to the podcast app, search Kosher Money, subscribe there, give us 5 stars, write a review. It really helps us in the rankings, brings more people in.
And we love it. Like,
Yeah.
that's our juice. Like, we get, like, weak when it's not. And then Kosher Money, 5 stars, we just...
Energy
power up.
boost.
Yes.
Yeah. Love that. Spotify, I think you can rate on Spotify now. If you have any questions, financial questions, hit up info@livingsmarterjewish.org. Zevi and the team there have received hundreds of questions, emails, the budgeting sheet.
Right.
That's been off the hook. And guests, if you have guest suggestions, we want to know.
Yeah. And you could go on our website, go to livinglechaim.com, and there's a nice form, very short, and you fill out who we should have on, why, and that's really easy and simple to do.
Well, I think we covered everything in this outro.
Yes.
See you next week.
The Kosher Money Podcast is hosted by Eli Langer, run by Zevi Woolman, Eli Langer, and myself, Yaakov Langer, and it is produced by Living L'Chaim. For more awesome podcasts and shows, check out livinglechaim.com. Check us up on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Living L'Chaim.